Hello my dreamers, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new. Thanks for joining us. Today we are going to be starting part 3 of our April color along. If you haven't watched the first 2 parts, I highly recommend you go and do so. This color along has been super fun so far and I can't wait to see it finished. So we've been working in Hanna Karlzon's Daydreams, and the page that we have been working on is this one right here. It is either a fly or a wasp. The jury's still out on that one. I find it under different tags, even B, so I'm not sure what it is. I suppose it can be whatever you want. Because there is a stinger on it, I assume it is a wasp. Unless there's flies with stingers, which I don't think we have those here, but maybe that's a thing in other places of the world. So when we left off in part 2, I was a little bit worried about color choices, as always. I get to a certain point where I just love what I have on the page and I just don't know whether I should stick to those colors or risk adding colors and making it look different. But I was thinking, if we use the same colors for the wasp, he's gonna blend in too much. I don't wanna do that. So I think I'm gonna change my plan a little bit. The only thing I was fully certain on was the background, which isn't going to be like too much of a background. It's just going to be a very slight background just to add a little bit more interest to the page and kind of frame our wasp a little bit more. And I was going to do kind of like a blue or like bluey green kind of background, and I think I've changed my mind on that. I think what I'm going to do is gold. Pretty much everything else on the page that we add is going to be gold. I was actually looking through pages. I said in the first part that I seen a picture with kind of like these browns and blues in it, and I can't find it for the life of me. At this point, I'm not even convinced it was this page. It was probably a different page, maybe in like similar composition to this page that I seen, but it's impossible to find. So I was actually looking up coloring pages with blues and browns, and I came across this one by, I think it's Jeanette Bruce. I might be saying her name wrong, but this is absolutely gorgeous. And this, I think, is kind of a little bit more of the direction that I want to go with in terms of the wasp. I think I want to keep him like a solid gold. I don't want to add any other colors to him. I want him to be gold. We're going to do gold for the little berries, because that'll help tie in the gold with the wreath. And then we're going to do a gold background as well. It'll probably be a little bit lighter than the gold we're going with here. And I think that will tie everything in beautifully. We're only adding technically one color, if you want to just lump it all together and call it gold. We're only adding one color to this, and I think that that will be a lot better than adding any extra colors, because I want to keep this very limited. So I think that's my plan now. I think it's going to look really good, actually. I'm pretty excited about it, and I'm happy that I was able to come up with a plan without completely stressing out like usual. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive on in. Alright, so I've zoomed in, and as always, I have a couple pieces of paper in behind this one. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my yellow ochre. I don't want to base too much, but I do want to base just the berries that we can see here. So this is the lowest one, or at least the lower ones. I'm just kind of it's a guide for where I am in frame. That way I don't forget. Okay, so we're just going to base the rest of them. Now, I picked a color combination that has 6 colors in it. Obviously, we are not going to be able to fit all 6 colors on the berries, which is totally fine, because I don't want them to be the exact same color as our wasp. I want them to be reminiscent of the wasp colors. So it's kind of gonna go along, but it's not gonna be the exact same. Since our background is gonna be a little bit lighter, I also want these to be a little bit on the darker side. And then it'll also make it so we can add some pretty highlights that will be a little bit more noticeable. So I'm going to keep that in mind while choosing colors from the 3 or from the 6 that we have for the gold. We want to still be able to get that that gold effect though. So that is kind of the challenge there. We are definitely going to want the yellow ochre. I'd say we can probably skip the artichoke. Maybe we'll use the bronze. So yellow ochre, bronze. I think we can probably fit 4. Let's do the dark umber and the black. And this will keep it a little bit dark with still some highlights. So we're gonna start in with our black, just because this paper doesn't seem to like layers. I'm just gonna start with my darkest and work towards the lightest. I'm just going to pick a side to start with on these berries, and I'm going to do them all with a shadow on the bottom left side. So keeping that in mind, I'm just gonna add a shadow to as many as I can. I'm not gonna fade it out too much because we're also gonna be adding the dark umber, and those two will kind of mix seamlessly enough that it's not gonna be a big issue, so I'm not worried about fading this out. So I'm just gonna create a solid shadow here. Don't mind my dog. He likes to talk. I'm very, very excited to see the outcome of this. I did send a picture to my friend of like a gold against this and like kind of like almost like a rose gold, maybe copper kind of color, because those were the two that I was kind of stuck between, but she hasn't replied, so I just decided to wing it, and I think this color goes really well, hopefully. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, yellow and blue are complementary colors. So since gold has yellow tones to it usually, I think that this will go really well with what we have already. Okay, so once we've got that done, we're gonna switch to our dark umber. I'm not going to add too much of this. I'm going to bring it in over top of the black and just bring it out slightly if I can. And if there's not a whole lot of room, then I'll just go over the black. The sharper your pencil is, the less likely you're going to accidentally color the whole circle. Mine's borderline needing to be sharpened. I think it's okay for now. I think I've got a cat at the door. Just give me one moment. Yeah, maybe not. Okay, so our next color is going to be the bronze. Oh, the cat's back. What? No, Lil. Sorry, I'm sorry. Not right now. Okay, with the bronze, I'm gonna go over the shadows. I'm gonna bring it out a little bit, and I'm just gonna leave a slight highlight for the yellow ochre. What do you think you're doing this? You just lay in your box like a good girl. Just trying to find a hiding spot to lay in. And now she's opted for the middle of the floor, so that doesn't really make sense. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. And then let's go in with our yellow ochre now. And with that, we're just gonna go over all of it. I'm using kind of a circular motion just to help blend everything. I don't mind if the dark colors kind of muddy up the highlights because we want these to be a little bit darker. So that will actually help. Still get that gold look from them, so I think we've succeeded here. Apparently Stitch came in just for a drink. He's gone again. All right, so now let's do the ones on the bottom. So we're just gonna follow the exact same steps. We're gonna start with basing them with the yellow ochre. If you can hear that sound, that's just Miss Lilo doing the happy dance in the chair. We're gonna do these little dangly things this color as well. We can still see that, right? Yes, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I feel like these colors would definitely complement the rooster on the other page as well. Whether I ever color him, who knows, but it would look pretty. I should maybe like put that on my list for the year. Okay, so going in with our black. Same thing, we're just adding that start to the shadow on the bottom left of each berry. Miss Lily, you're quite loud. You're so cute. She is the sweetest cat. She has this thing where she likes to give hugs, and she gave Carbon one the other day, which she doesn't usually because he's, you know, he's a kid. He's very loud and she's still kind of like weary about him sometimes. But he was just standing by the bed and she was on it, and she walks over to him and puts her front paws on his shoulder and then nudges her head into his cheek. So cute. That's how she hugs. And she'll just hold on to you like that, just standing on her back paws. It is the cutest thing ever. She's a very affectionate cat. She always says goodnight to Carbon too. She's always got to come into his room every night and say goodnight to him before she goes to sleep. Well, more before he goes to sleep, but. Okay, in with the dark umber, we're just doing the same thing. In these bigger berries, we can kind of extend the color a little bit. If not, we're just going to go directly over the black. All right, bronze is next. This isn't the bronze, oops. Okay, this one's the bronze. For a couple berries, it's probably not going to be too noticeable. Super pretty. Very fitting with this, I think. Perfect. Okay, I really like that. I'm going to grab my pasta pen. I don't want to do all of them because we're going to be like having our hand like in around here, but I'm going to do the ones kind of on this side of the page because I'm not really going to be touching those ones. So I think it's probably safe to do the ones up here. I'm just going to add a little highlight, and I'm actually going to add the highlight into like the darker areas of these just because it'll show up better. So on some of them, I'm just adding like a little half circle and a dot. Some of them I'm just doing a little half circle. Some of them I'm just adding a dot. As long as each one has some sort of highlight, you're good. I'm going to go down to about this one here, probably, this bunch. I probably could do all the berries because I don't think Posca pen takes too long to dry, but we're just going to start with that for now. I like that. All right, and with that, let's start on our bug. I'm just gonna grab a sip of coffee. Okay, let's start by basing our entire bug with the yellow ochre. We're not gonna touch the wings for now though. I'm like nervous but excited at the same time. Okay, from here, let's start adding in our shadows. So I'm going to start with the dark umber, even though it's not our darkest color. I don't usually like to go straight in with the darkest color just in case. I like to go in with the second darkest color because it gives me a little bit of a visual so I can see how it looks. And then from there I can decide how much darker I want things to go. I definitely want the legs to be a fair bit darker than the bug's body, I think. For two reasons, because the legs are kind of underneath the bug, so it'll give the illusion that the legs are darker, or like farther away to our eyes, I suppose. And then also because it will kind of tie in the dark umber, like the darker branches and stuff around the page, because they're very similar. The branches and the bug's legs are very similar, so. Just gonna outline these. I'm going to treat each kind of shape as its own. So like for example, it looks like there's 4 different conjoining parts of this bug's leg. There's this part, this one, and this one. So I'm kind of doing each separately, outlining each of those shapes. Hopefully that makes sense. And then this one, it looks like there's 2, so I'm going to outline this shape on its own. Make it a little bit darker where it's coming out from the bug's body. And then I'll outline this shape as its own. I like that. Let's add a little bit of like a shadow on the bottoms of these little antenna thingies. And then just on either side of this part as well. I'm gonna go on either side of the eye and then kind of fade that in. We're gonna make this part of the bug's head fairly dark too. So I'm gonna kind of outline all of this. Just fade it in, because I like how that's looking so far. And then the body. I would like to do some of these designs kind of individually as well, but for now we're going to focus on the bug's body as a whole, and then we can add some extra shadows. But I definitely want to add a shadow kind of underneath the wings. And then we'll outline the bottom as well. Oh, get another cat. It's Miss Miko. She's going to want to drink out of her fountain, so I've just got that plugged in for now. If you ever hear water kind of running like that in my videos, it's usually the fountain. It needs to be filled, but I haven't gotten around to that yet today. I do have this whole thing in frame, right? Yes, okay, we're good. I was a little bit worried for a second there. That looks so good already. Okay, I'm loving this. I don't actually know if I want to go too much darker than this. See, and this is again why I will always do my second darkest color first. I do want to add a little bit of the black in places, but I think we're going to go very, very light on it. So where the bug's legs are coming out right underneath, or coming out from right underneath, I'm going to add black to that. Okay, I want to add black just on the stinger where it's coming out from its butt. The antennas where it's coming out from its head. And then I want to add a little bit of black on the top here and then around, I guess kind of like its neck. You are not coming up here, sorry, baby girl. You're persistent, I'll give you that. Okay, so since we've decided that that's all the black that we're bringing in, let's just go back in with our dark umber and just darken up any spots that we might need. Mostly just gonna like focus on the areas that we put black and then just make sure that the dark umber fades out from it a little bit. I've got something here, hold on. Ah, it's my diamond clip. I did not know it was there. I'm pretty happy with the shadows with this, I think. Again, I don't want to end up going too dark like I always do. I think our next color is the chocolate. I don't think we're going to need a lot of this either. I'm just going to bring this out just slightly from the dark umber. And I think I'm going to keep this to mostly the body of the beetle. Or wasp, or whatever this is. Maybe it is a beetle. That's one thing that I didn't try searching up. I bet you if I searched up Hanna Karlzon beetle, I'd probably get like a ton of hits for it. That's probably what this is. I don't know why it didn't occur to me till now. But it's probably all for the better, because if I would have found more pages of this and found somebody's that I really, really liked, then that might have influenced my vision maybe too much. Let's maybe add a little bit just to the top part of these. Okay, bronze is next. Let's add some of this to the legs. I'm gonna try and save a highlight for, I think we'll kind of fill these in with the artichoke. But if we can't fit it, I'm not worried about it. And we can just go ahead and fill any pieces in with the bronze that we need. feel like the bronze is kind of key to getting that gold look, so I think we're going to be adding this everywhere. We're going to color in the rest of this part of the head in with the bronze. I don't want to take it out too far on the bug's body though. And I know I did talk about maybe adding some extra detail to the patterns. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I might just want to treat this bug as kind of like a whole instead of focusing on the patterns on it. Okay, I like that. Let's go in with our artichoke. So this is our second lightest color. We're going to fully color in the bug's legs. And I think everywhere else we're going to try and save highlights for our yellow ochre. Let's just color in the stinger with this color. I think I'm going to lightly go over everything with the artichoke, even the highlights. I'm just going to lightly go over the highlights with the artichoke as well. Just so we don't end up with like a super bright bug. And we're going to start in with the yellow ochre very lightly. I'm going to kind of see how this looks. I think it looks okay. Yeah, let's go in with a firm pressure. I like this. I'm just going to go over everything, even if it's pretty much already colored. Okay, so pretty. The wings are going to be the main focus of this, and this I'm kind of using this picture to reference. So she kind of sectioned off some of the bug, which I don't know if I really want to. So it'll make them appear a little bit darker, and I want to keep them light. So I think I'm going to keep them as is, but the wings, I very much want to kind of recreate the wings that she has going on here. So we're going to attempt to do that. Let's come in with our yellow ochre first. I'm going to go through on these little circles on the wings. We're going to base those. And then for these parts of the wings, we're just going to start in the bottom and we're going to fade up. We don't want too much of this. She left a lot of her wings white. So it looks like for the most part, we're just focusing on like the very bottom bits of the wings and then fading up from there. Up here, let's add a little bit of this. Kind of coming back down a little bit. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll just kind of mimic that on this side. Okay, once we're happy with that, we can move on to our next color, which is going to be the artichoke. We're going to add a little bit of that in here. Just kind of noticing that I think I forgot to color this leaf here, so don't mind me. If you also forgot to, I'm just adding the Kelly green with the gray green light over top of it. Okay, let's carry on. Okay, before we focus any more on the wings, I want to do these little circly bits, so I'm going to grab the dark umber and I'm just going to pop a little bit on either side of these rings here. We don't really have a lot of space to work with, so it doesn't have to be super precise. We don't have to do any fancy like shading or anything like that. From there, let's go into the artichoke. It's really hard to fit all these colors in these little tiny dots, but we'll do our best. And then from there, let's finish it with the yellow ochre. Just gonna bring this up a little bit further lightly. Can't remember if I was using the bronze or the artichoke, but I think it was the artichoke. I just forgot about this one here, so I'm just gonna catch that one up. Don't really want to go too dark, but I do feel like they need to be like a little bit darker, so let's go in with the chocolate, and we're just gonna do really, really light layer of chocolate, kind of like right at the tips of these little bits that we've colored. Yeah, that's perfect. The chocolate mixed with this just creates a little bit more of like an orangey gold. Perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. So now I'm going to take the yellow ochre and I'm just going to lightly go over all of this. I think we're going to use a Posca pen or like any kind of white pen or even acrylic paint that you have to kind of bring the white back. But I think we want just like a gold hue on everything. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, that looks good. Let's go in with our white Posca now. And let's bring out some of this. I'm gonna grab a spare piece of paper just to kind of push my Posca pen down on because it's not exactly cooperating. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. We want to outline the leaves, the wings with white. Just gonna add like these little white lines kind of going up into these areas that we've colored. There we go. I like that. Wish my Posca pen worked better. This thing is like brand new. These things suck. I started off really liking Poscas, but I don't know. Lately, I'm just not a fan. Just trying to get rid of more of the black. It's wherever it's like super noticeable, I'm just trying to get rid of it. It's a little better. Okay, I really like that. That is gorgeous. I did kind of want to go and make, I put like a metallic watercolor to make the wasp's wings shimmer as well. But if I remember correctly, Posca pen and water don't mix, unfortunately. Kind of like reactivates it. We could very carefully put stickles down. I wonder if like clear nail polish will make Posca pen run. Posca pen run. I'm just gonna do like a little bit of a test here. Okay, so say we've got that. I'm just gonna make like a little. A little heart here. We'll let that dry. We'll try later. See if it does anything. That'll be in part 4 anyways. What are we at for time? Okay, part 4 is going to be all background and then maybe the wings. So let's go ahead and do, should we add white accents to the brown leaves as well? I feel like maybe they might need something. Okay, I'm gonna grab my Uniball Signal Broad. Let's try this one. Better. Yeah, I think we need that. Let's zoom out. Majority of it in frame. Let's go ahead and add some whites to some of these darker areas just to add a little bit more interest. Don't want to go too wild with it, but we can add a little bit. Yeah, that looks, even just like the small part that has this looks so much better. So pretty. Okay, I think that's all of it. Yeah, that little bit of white definitely helped bring it to life. I'm glad that we decided to do that. I'm gonna add just like a little bit more of a white highlight. More on the tip of this one here. The Signos aren't the best either. I find like nothing works really good on the Poscas. The wax clogs them, unfortunately. That's where I thought the Poscas came in. Maybe I need a bigger size of Posca. I used the 0.7mm. Maybe I shouldn't be using that. I don't know. If you guys have any advice, I'm totally open to it. Oh, excuse me. Let's just add like a few. My pen doesn't want to cooperate now. Just a few little random dots on this guy's back. Don't like that. Okay, we're just gonna scratch that away because I don't like how that turned out. I want dots, not big blobs. Okay, better, I think. All of my Posca pens just suck. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, I like that. All right, all that's left is the background. I'm gonna be back-to-back recording this, so hopefully our Posca pen heart is dry before the end of part 4, and then we can do our bug wings and we'll be done. All right, this is what it's looking like so far. I hope you guys are enjoying. I'm so excited to finish him. Oh my goodness, he looks so cute. Yeah, I think that's it. As always, you guys have a wonderful day. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye.